Shalom, call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. This is your brother of war making a video to feed the sheep, to edify the lambs. Shalom to the Akim and Akwatim that are going to be watching this video. Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Brakatham. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. And I was already going to make a video on going into the protests and stuff. And maybe even the one in Hong Kong. You see how these guys are going. They're going crazy in Hong Kong right now. But I came across this elders the GMS's video, and my thoughts are already that the rioting and all that stuff, more or less likely I believe that it was caused by some Esau causing his agents to infiltrate the protesting and cause trouble, and then the people would follow suit, because you see things in like the first purge where the government wanted to implement the purge, but they were gonna do it based on the people's reactions. And when there was time for the purge, the people were out, or at least Jake was out partying, and nobody was going around killing anybody during the 12 hours. Right, so what Esau did was he sent out his undercover police and all that stuff, and they started going around looting and killing people and inciting violence. Right, and that's when people started panicking and people started doing the same exact thing. Why did he do that? So he could implement the purge as a law, because that's what they wanted. It was an option to help do. Oh yeah, they were saying like the purge is like something to help people get out their bad. Like if people had one day to do all these things, then all the rest of the 364 days around of the year, people won't be as inclined to do evil, things like that. Right, but that's what I was thinking, because Jake, look how many times Jake been getting killed by the cops, and Jake may go around causing some trouble, doing things, but not to the point where it gets like this, you know. And I've been seeing, now you're seeing how apparently there's a cop from the St. Paul police department named Jacob Peterson, and people are saying that it was him. But I'm gonna get let this video play and go on my Twitter and show y'all the people talking about it.
Information on somebody, Edomite police officer named Jacob Peterson, and pretty much, that's the Edomite that was responsible for starting those riots. So what he did was he was not camouflage, but he had on like a disguise. He had on one of those face masks, respirators, and breaking out windows in certain stores, getting that of the neighbors in the area kind of they recognized him, and they were calling him out. And this one Jake was about to fight him, and then he took off. So it's just letting you know that all of this stuff that's going on is being provoked, because they have an agenda. It's all made up. Even though they probably did really kill that dude, because George Floyd, I believe his name is.
Right. So when I was listening to the elder talk about this, I started looking it up for myself. So I started typing in Jacob Peterson, and I've seen all these different videos. Right. Let's get a few, I guess. And then one of the people recording, there was like, are you a cop?
I ain't got part of that shit.
And that Jake in the purple is asking this guy, what he doing? Like, what are you doing right now? And he wanted to fight him. That's the Jake that the elder was talking about.
Dude. Oh, I zoomed in. I'll zoom out a little bit. Those cops will come for you if you're pulling that crap.
I just came with a hammer and smashed the windows.
Come on me. I'm gonna fight you right now.
You wanna go? Yes, what's up? Somebody hold my blunt.
Hey,
Somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna keep it up. Hey. Are you a fucking cop? What's up? What's up? You came in and broke the fucking whole shit. What's up? What's your ass number? Right there, fucking.
And he was trying. He's a cop. And Jake's asking, why you do that for? You know, Jake loves Egypt. Jake loves this place. Jake, most people are protesting, but they know they're gonna get in trouble, and that a lot of police and bad stuff is gonna happen if they go overboard. Right? This guy said the cops will come for you if you do that. The cops ain't gonna come for you if you're the cop yourself. Right? So I'm on my Twitter and I'm seeing all this. And obviously you got people on both sides, but there's it's like trending. A lot of people are talking about it. There's some people saying it was his wife who originally said that was her husband or ex-wife. You see how the video that people were recording saying this guy's a cop, But this is just trending on my Twitter feed right now. People are like, hey, what's going on? Like, these cops are really trying to, and the average person won't understand why they would be trying to do this, but Esau has laws that he wants to implement, and the people are afraid. They ain't gonna cause trouble. The Esau needs order out of chaos, right? To implement the laws. I remember after 9/11, people always telling me how before 9/11 it was not, security wasn't the way it was when you had to go fly. Right after 9/11, or you have to go through all the security and all this stuff. You haven't seen a plane type of bombing ever since, but yet Esau has all the security on the people and throughout the country and the world. Esau wants to be able to militarize and police this country, right? And the people are already starting to stop caring about the virus. They don't care, right? So if the people start rioting and cause trouble, it gives Esau an excuse to bring in his the military and the National Guard and all that stuff. Which there's a video, which the National Guard has already been deployed in what's it called? Go to my history. It was one of the news I was watching. This one.
It is Friday morning. Welcome for us all morning.
The lady will mention.
I'm standing along Lake Street right now in 31st. We were pushed back about an hour ago. Earlier this morning, we spent most of the morning over around 27th and Lake. That is in the middle of what has now been barricaded off by Minnesota State Patrol alongside the National Guard, and Minneapolis Police is in there as well. But earlier today, you can see right now that
She said the National Guard and Minneapolis Police.
That the firefighters, once this truck gets out of the way, you can see firefighters are still working on this fire that is at a building, and it has destroyed a building on 27th and Lake. Earlier today, as I was starting to mention, we saw about 100 or so Minnesota State Patrol officers lined up where you see the line formed right now. Initially, as far back, I believe, as 27th and then pushing forward to 28th, eventually pushing forward to where they are right now on 29th. This is kind of the calmer part of the morning, if you will believe it. We showed up around 4:30 a.m. to a whole lot of chaos, to the fires, to the people who were still out from overnight. As we follow through the rest of the day, it will be really interesting to see what the presence that we have not, the police presence, the National Guard presence that we have not seen in the past 48 hours, how that will affect the tone and what happens throughout the rest of today.
Thanks.
Okay, and the thing with Americans, if Americans really start protesting and getting serious and violent, they have guns. It ain't gonna be like it is in the other countries. You know, like where's a Hong Kong? Let me just type in. All right, probably go on RT News. I'll probably just type in Hong Kong protest, but man, it's getting juicy out here. I like it. I'm liking it, man. The more things start to get juicy, the more I'm gonna start getting roused up. But I mean, all these are from 2 days to a few hours to a day ago. All these protesting and all that stuff. Hong Kong. So it's the precepts, man. It's the scriptures, man. It's what the Most High says is gonna happen before He sends His Son. Things have to get worse, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So all praise to the Most High for that. And call Allah Yah Bashim Yahshai. You know, I just wanted to show y'all what I was just looking at. You know, but yeah, man, it's just really interesting. So, shalom.